Hi, I'm Logan, and let's be honest, if you've ended up here, you're probably not just looking to stare at some charts, right? Like most people, you're looking for more freedom, more opportunities, and more confidence in your future. But instead, you wake up every morning with that nagging anxiety. Am I doing enough? Will I make it? What if I fail? I know that feeling. I grew up in a family where financial stability wasn't the norm. It was a dream. And if someone had told me back then that I'd be able to achieve the kind of results I'm having now, I probably wouldn't have believed them. But one day, I took a step. A small one, a hesitant one, and that's when everything started to change. Now I want to give that same opportunity to others. Of course, I'm not promising to solve all your problems overnight, but you can try to watch this video and get a hands on a practice system that's helping my subscribers move towards to their goals, even if they're complete beginners. Curious? Then watch this video until the end. It might just be exactly what you've been missing. Today, we're going to analyze the market with you, and for that, let's prepare our workspace. First of all, we will be using the MACD indicator with you. I set the settings as usual. I don't change them in any way. Then we move to a time frame of 5 seconds and an expiry time of 15 seconds. Let's get started. Here I open a position upwards and wait for the expiration time. I open a trade up here because the indicator and the chart direction indicate it to me. It's an obvious situation. Oh, that's great! After the downward price movement, a small correction has started and the corrective upward movement. I think it will continue for a while because the MACD indicator is pointing to it. Therefore, I open the position up and I'm waiting for the expiry time. I'll move on. Here we see a strictly downward movement. Because of this, I open a position down for the continuation of the downward movement and wait for the end of the trade. The indicator also highlights this to me. Great deal, folks! Here we could see downward price movement. This is the downtrend line, and also the downward movement of the indicator. Consequently, a downside position was opened and it ended perfectly. What are your thoughts on this deal? Write it in the comments whether you would have opened it. And I will move on. Here we see the beginning of the upward movement on the indicator and on the price chart respectively. Therefore, I open the position upwards and expect the upward movement to continue, waiting for the expiration time and the result of the trade. It was pretty close to our entry point, but it ended well. We see here that after a strong downward movement, an upward movement has begun, which is highlighted by our indicator. I'm pretty sure that this isn't your first day looking at charts and candlesticks. You read, you watch, you try, but deep down there is still that little voice. Can I really do this? That's exactly why I'm creating my community for people just like you. Because I've been there too. I know what it's like to need real support. It's a place where things are explained clearly, shown step by step, and if you mess up, no one judges you. You just get help. In every session, I break things down in real time while you follow along. No stress, no overwhelming theory that makes your head spin. Just what actually works. And yes, it's created even for people who open the chart for the very first time. The link's in the description. Feel free to check it out and see for yourself. I'm moving on. I see some indefinite movement on the indicator here. Let's move on to the next set. Here I will open a position down because it's indicated by the price chart and confirmed by the MACD indicator. The time will now come to an end and I will give more details about the situation. It was a pretty risky deal. It closed right near the entry point, but it closed successfully. You may have noticed the beginning of the downward movement on the indicator, as well as the downward movement on the chart. Because of this, a position was opened on the downside, but the market was volatile. Therefore, we should pay attention to the red histogram, which indicates a downward impulse. And as you can see, it happened. Moving on, here we see an upward price movement according to the indicator and the chart. Excellent entry point. Open the position up and wait for the expiry time. Great entry point, friends. We see a strong upward movement of the indicator and also an upward movement of the price. As a result, I open an upward position in the direction of this movement. That's all I had to do. I will move on. Here we see a similar situation. So here I open a position down and wait for the end of a trade, as the trend movement is also directed downwards. Great, the transition is successful, similar to the previous one. Only here we have a downward movement, and here it's up. And the situations themselves are very similar. The market is really happy today, don't you think? You know what beginners tell me the most often? Logan, I don't know where to enter. I always get lost on a chart. I get it, I really do. That's exactly why, inside my community, we don't rely on guesses. We follow a system. Clear entry points you can actually repeat, live sessions where you learn and practice, tons of helpful materials to fill in all the gaps. You're not just clicking around blindly. You're learning to see the chart through my eyes and through the eyes of others in the group who are getting more confident every single day thanks to the support around them. If you want to do more than just copy trades, if you want to truly understand the community is open now. Click the link and let's start working together. Moving on, what we see here is that we have a downward movement. It is over and the indicator indicates the continuation of the upward movement. Let's give it a try. The most important thing is that we saw a rise here, followed by a correction. That is, this growth, correction, and further upward price movement is planned. It's a good situation to enter. Let me move on. Here we see a rather uncertain situation on the indicator and on the chart. So I'm moving on again. What we see here is that the corrective downward movement is over. The MACD indicator further indicates that there could be a continuation of the trend movement. And so I open a position up and wait for the time of the operation. Good result. We've seen the downward movement. Let's take a closer look. There was an upward movement followed by a small correction. This is where we might have spot error. After that, the upward movement started again. We got him good. Good job. If you are working a regular job, you probably know how it feels. 9 to 5, always tired. You glance at your phone and think maybe someday, but for my subscribers, someday is already today. They join me in the mornings or evenings, spend just 30 minutes and finally start living differently. Some are saving for their dreams, some are helping their parents, and some, for the first time in a long while, feel confident and don't wake up to an alarm anymore. And it's all started with a click, one video, one group, my community. You don't have to quit your job. You can start building a skill, learning to read the charts while still doing what you do now. Everything you need is in the description. Just give it a try. Let's pick another asset. Here we see a strong movement and according to the trend I open a position down. Because trend is our friend as we know. So I open a position down and wait for the expiration time. The indicator just confirmed it. We're seeing a downtrend here. All this time the indicator is below the zero mark. I mean below this line. And this is a confirmation of the downward momentum. And that's why I opened the position down, and quite successfully. Actually, now let me move on. Here too, I see a downward movement on the indicator and on the chart. So I open a position down and wait for the expiry time, as this strategy is sharpened to use only trends and movements. We had a downtrend confirmed by an indicator. And in fact, we took an open position on this trend. Good job, folks. Good result in one session. What do you think? You watched this far, which means you are looking for a way to learn and you are ready to make a change. But knowledge without action is just information. My community is definitely not about learning for the sake of learning. It's a living, breathing space where every step you take moves you closer to a real results. I show, you follow. I explain, you understand. You ask, I answer. No fluff, no hype, just what actually works. Your next step is right below this video. Click the link, join the group, and just take a look around. If it feels right, stick around. If not, at least you tried something new. But I've got a feeling you are one of the ones who stays and starts to win. See ya!